This is the video presentation for the Student Innovation Project, Dynamic World. I'm Christopher Williams, and my partner for the project is Richard Vaught. The reason we want to do the project is we're tired of a lot of stuff that happens in MMOs right now. You have to level up your character to go and see the in-game content. You're locked into a class that sometimes you don't realize you don't like playing until you have it already maxed out. And then this causes you to go through and play all of the content that hasn't changed over and over again. What we want to do is replace that. Go through a world and not have a level, not have set classes.
This is the concept art that you see in front of you. We wanted to go with what a lot of MMOs are doing with the action bar, but we wanted the health, mana, and stamina to be separate and always on the screen. We felt it was really important to go and keep some elements that current MMOs are doing really well, like the map and the time, showing everyone that's in your party and having a chat window that they can go and communicate with other people. And the player target, along with any incoming spells that you might need to avoid. Something else that we're doing is we are limiting how many spells a player can have out at one time. So on the right hand side, we wanted to make use of that space and give buttons so players can go through and see their character sheet, their spells, inventory, quests, and a menu system. The main focus of this project is dealing with this traditional level progression where you have to level up in order to go and gain additional power. The skill-based approach that we're taking to deal with this issue is based off of this concept. Like the connections in the human brain, our skills will be linked to other skills. Some of these connections will be stronger than other connections, while some of the connections will be counterproductive to each other. Every connection between skills will enhance or inhibit each other as the player uses the skills together. The same effect is going to happen with the player stats as well. As the players use the skill, stats will increase or decrease. This diagram was created to illustrate the relationships between the skills, stats, and abilities. As the player uses an ability, it enhances a skill and a stat. The constant use of that ability feeds into an XP pool. When the XP pool reaches a certain point, the skill and stat will increase. If the player uses an ability that has a positive connection to one another, then that rate is increased. When the player uses an ability that has a negative connection between the two, then that rate is decreased. As the skill and stat levels increase, it feeds into a modifier which then goes back to the ability and is used to increase the damage of that ability. You can see this by the black box that is at the top of the screen, and it feeds down to the damage modifier down below. As the player uses multiple abilities as they play, they will always be changing their skills and stats in both a positive and negative way.
With this project, we're not trying to make a full-fledged game. What we're trying to do is just make the framework to show that these elements together, it is possible to go and have a game where everything is dynamic. Every time you go and play it, the world changes. We're not expecting to go and have everything flushed out, looking completely like current games are. We just want the basic framework in place, showing that everything is possible.